All right. So let's talk about Yvonne Jegede. Um, Let me just go ahead and play this video, and then we'll talk about it.
Yvonne, tell us, marriage, what happened?
Ha! Now that question asked me. You know, to me, I know they talk bad about that whole thing. It was a phase that I appreciated that I.
So apparently it's the first time she's talking about. I'm gonna have to pause because of the music that they keep playing in the background. Let me mix it up with this actually, because those people, man. But anyway, she asked. That's Mercy Johnson. I guess she has a show somewhere, and she was interviewing. I guess she cooks or something. You could see her doing some cooking back and forth, right? But she said the marriage, and apparently it's the first time she would talk about her marriage falling apart. So let's listen carefully. Maybe we can extract some lessons out of it.
Yvonne, tell us, marriage, what happened?
Ha! Now that question asked me. You know, to me, I know they talk bad about that whole thing. It was a phase that I appreciated that I experienced. But that's my heart is beat. I don't talk about. Because I never talk this matter since it happened.
Yes, I know.
Yes, I never talk about it happened. But the whole point is, me I be G.
So I don't know what Miyabiji means. Somebody can help me. What is Miyabiji? But anyway, does that mean gangster or the girl? What does that mean exactly? Miyabiji. Anyway, so she's saying she's never spoken about the marriage or the marriage of falling apart before and stuff like that, right? And I can respect that, you know. Divorce is like a deletion in the family. It weighs heavily on people, and I think the best thing that people can do sometimes is just be quiet for a while, take some time off, you know. But at some point you're gonna have to talk, you know, because you don't want to bury that inside too, especially if you have resentment or you have things to get off your chest. I do think they should be in a safe space too, you know. So, but they're celebrities, so a little bit of a shine on the show can't hurt as long as they have all the support systems behind the scenes too, right? So, but generally, I'm not a big advocate of putting things like this on the public scene, but again, as long as you have a good support systems to match that, then it should be fine, because this is how we extract the lessons for people that are coming after or before, right? Is it after? After, right?
But I understand, you understand, but it don't work out. It didn't work out, and we can't force it. We can't force it. I really don't want to talk about the problems that we had, but honestly, the matter not reach for where we did today, but we reached where we did today. It just didn't work out. I think we're on different pages. We're not even reading the same book in the first place.
All right, so that's a real thing. Now, I understand she's on the show. She may not want to tell us the full details, but a lot of people in real life, this is actually where they end. They can't pinpoint what happened, and that's a problem. That's why 75% of remarried divorcees. That's why 75% of the time they divorce again, because they really never take the time to. It's always somebody else's fault, right? But self. And or you can double that up with they don't extract any lessons, or if it's a situation where it on the surface it looks like it's the other person's fault. Maybe the person was a misuser, a person who doesn't know how to keep their hands to themselves, or something terrible, a narcissist, right? It's very easy to say it wasn't me, it was the other person. I can understand it's easy to do that, right? But it's problematic if you enter another situation, because at the very minimum you attracted that situation. At the very minimum, something about your spirit was okay with that situation, right? But you might say, oh, they changed. Personalities, temperament, things on the surface can change, how they behave, but you probably just were not on the receiving end of the same behavior. Okay, But generally speaking, people are who they are, right? They are who they are, and you probably just didn't pay attention, or your spirit was okay with what they were doing until you found yourself on the receiving end of it.
But I thought, I'm my guy. And people have asked me.
Because you guys were best friends
Yeah,
before
we're
you got married. For years.
very, very close for years. We're very close. I know. He had been through some of my relationships. I had been through some of his.
All right, so that's a problem. That's a problem. He had been through some of my relationship, and I have been through some of his relationships. It's not always a problem. That can pose to be a problem, okay? A lot of men can hang out on the sidelines. Just think Kanye West. Okay, Kanye West was hanging out on the sidelines for years before he decided to marry Kim Kardashian. Yeah. Somehow this is going to be the captain that will come and save all those bad relationships. Really? You think? Yeah. So that right there already is like, does that mean you can't get with somebody that you've known for years, who have seen you gone through everything? Like, you can, but you know, you need to have gone through proper counseling, and so that somebody can shed light on some of the downsides of that. Okay? How would you like somebody coming to your order and say, hey, I knew it. I knew I was making a mistake from day one. I don't know what the hell I was thinking about. After all those failed relationships, it was obvious you're doing the same thing to me right now. You have all these preconceived notions. And I keep telling you, you can't have a healthy romantic relationship without certain level of vulnerability. It's hard to be vulnerable in that space where you're feeling like you have to put guards on, you have to protect yourself, it's just a bad idea altogether, you know. But just listen to her. She's saying, as she's narrating it, you too, you can probably pick some things that I didn't pick, you know.
I will call Yvonne. Tell us, married.
Tell him, say, get this guy where just see me say he like me. I go ask him because I'm a very good guy. Guy will get good mind. Now make me marry him. Get good mind. He gets sympathy.
So it's a guy that has a good mind, a good guy, sympathy. That's why you're married. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, this is what I look for personally. Okay. This is what I ask people to look for. There's more, but this is what I ask people to look for. I'm going to show you in a second. These 4 things. The first 2 right there. So number 2, if your religious beliefs doesn't allow you to do that initially, obviously you want to have the attraction. You want to feel it. You want to feel like you're almost stumbling. Like you can't wait, right? You know that you can't go to that person's house, that you will fall, Shani, because you could feel the attraction, right? Friendship, sexual attraction. Pay attention to what she's saying. At least number 1, right? But she did say they were friends, but almost like somebody that was on the sidelines who was kind of romantic, but not really. But they were through all the, but he kept probably spinning game in your ears, like, you know, I could be a better man. You know, but let's keep hearing.
You get humanity. It's just a person it be. But I guess a person for another person, not be for me. So we got to go our separate ways.
How did you feel when that happened? And he asked that he's supposed to drink.
I know. First of all, I've been fear. My fear, first of all, grabbed me.
So what fear grabbed her? When she asked her, I said, how did you feel when it happened? She said fear. I want you to pay attention to what kind of fear she's talking about. There's different types of fear, right? What kind of fear exactly is she talking about? Let's see.
I say, how I want to tell people, say, I don't want to again. Marriage is like 2 years. Say, I know once.
The fear of what people will say. Ladies! This is an epidemic, Koda. It's not good. Don't do this to yourself. Fear of what people will say. They paralyze. Not the fear of I'm going to lose this, my friend. Not the fear of where am I going to start from again. I really love this man. The fear of what people will say. Yeah, that makes me want to say, why did she get into it in the first place? Is it the same thing? Maybe fear of I'm single. I should just get with somebody. Since I've been wasting so much time with all these people. maybe, I don't know, but she's giving us a lot, right? Let's keep going.
I don't see the future, say future not D. You understand? So not to reverse. Come on for there. You hear me?
In a society that you get judged
Yes.
for civic.
Even Mercy Johnson is confirming it, right? Granted, it's a real thing. The fear, like, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's something you want to put in check. The fear of what will people say, right? If that's the reason why you're staying in your situation, that's the same thing as saying I'm staying in there because of shame. Shame does not produce anything good. Now when it comes to romantic relationship, I keep saying it. It does it because you're bottling things up, and then when it decides to blast open, it's gonna be bad. It will splatter over everything and even destroy more things that you didn't plan for. We have to be careful with these things. Okay? I don't want to because of shame. Let me shame them so that they can behave. It doesn't work. It does not work. Okay? Because it's not coming from the person. Right? And they have options. They may not know they have options now. Now they will now go and japa and then find out they have options. Is this really how you want to build your relationship, where people feel choked and people feel smothered to be in the situation? Is that really how you want to do it? Last, somebody will chop breakfast.
Without even knowing what I went through, what was happening. I don't go through anything, you not beat me, you not do anything to me. You know, just, I don't wake up one day and say, this road, you know, go walk. Make it go. And I'm glad I took that decision. Tell them, say, because if I had stayed back just because of what people would say, I would not be happy today.
Okay, so she's claiming she made the right decision. She decided to leave, at least as far as she's concerned. She made the right. She left because she wasn't going to settle for what people would say. Let's keep going.
People see me, even somebody here was saying, oh, Shaika, energy. I think my energy picked up. You know, say before the shame, I know they picked up.
Yeah, because even when I first call you, people will see, because say, nah, me, I do that one.
Mad. I did fear, I did hide from people. But I guess since after then, it's been what, 3 years, 4 years? I'm just living life, honey.
And what's your relationship with him like?
We don't talk.
Oh, what's your relationship with him? We don't talk. Why don't they talk? Let's find out. Let's find out why they don't. This is a bad situation. When you have a child with somebody and you're not talking, it's bad. And I understand circumstances. Sometimes you try to help, and sometimes the person is just not stepping up to the plate for their responsibility. Especially, there's only so much a woman can help you attain your responsibility, gentlemen. A woman can try small, but a woman is not designed for that.
Your son?
He doesn't come around. Oh, honey, I'm going to talk about it. Sorry. He doesn't call, doesn't do nothing. Now, I don't know what it is that could cause a friendship, because apart from the marriage, we had a good, very solid.
Okay, so she did say they have a good friendship. Oh, maybe it's the second part that's missing.
Solid friendship. I think I still look at that friendship and believe this thing where we experience now, no suppose. At least that friendship we get
supposed to count for something. Coconut milk going in, so nice. We can have more time.
Yeah, maybe she thought she had friendship, and they do this like, I'm not your friend, right? Maybe that's what it was, right? She seems like she's very on that friendship thing, right? But again, who knows? That's just what she's saying, right? Now, there's certain types of friendship that just they don't mix with romance very well, right? And then it depends on the personality of the person they're talking about too, right? Some people are just stubborn and they say, hey, I'm not your friend, you're my wife. Friend Bitibao, right? What's all this friendship nonsense?
And they call because if I had even the first time when he come house, when he come finally publicly accepts say he became now born, because people know they cause me say I don't go sleep with another man, but that person go born, go come happy say my wife born. So people gonna say you go carry belly from that person. I'm so ashamed of you. I like your acting, but you are bad. You are a rotten wife. Anywho.
And you online in-laws. Number sorry. Bagaba says, do people realize they can still talk after divorce? You know, in Yoruba land, they say, I can loli ejo. I think some people take that to the bank. I don't think they realize it can be better. I don't think they realize that they can actually work on that, you know. Some people are just like that, you know. Then also our society, I'm not sure if our society encourages that much very well, you know. So then our society is also a place where they think they can have children, and the children later on they do say things like that, and it's cap, you know. They may pick up the phone and call you every now and then and blah blah, but they don't have that relationship with you, you know. That's not ideal. That's one of the people that God put in your life. So if you can't nurture that relationship, how are you going to nurture a relationship with strangers, you know?
I can't get to give an ultimatum. I say, if you don't come, once my pikin reach 5 years, I will come out your surname for his name, because I get to put Jegede Fawole for Jem, because I know as I suffer, go America, go born my pikin, I suffer. I claim my account, say this America.
All right, so she cleaned her account to go to America to go have this baby. She made the name of the baby a compound name, her last name, her surname, and the quote-unquote husband's surname. But she cleaned her account. I would hope that gentleman cleaned his account too. See, there's a lot of you ladies that are just, you take on projects. I know, you think it's, what is wrong with that? I can help my man. I can, sure, absolutely, you can, okay? But that man has to be 100% secure in himself. And that's almost impossible. So it's a big battle hill in front of you when all you're doing is taking care of a man. Or let's say the worst case scenario or best case scenario where he said, I don't have to go to America to have a child. Let's just have it here in Lagos, right? And you're like, no, my child must be American. You see, there's problem already, right? So when she said that, that sentence is loaded. She cleaned her account. You know, I caught it, Jerry. Thank you. She cleaned her account. Right? That didn't sound good. That didn't sound too much of a healthy situation. So now, because she cleaned her account to go and have this baby in America, I must have a compound name. Somebody said, what's wrong with that? Social construct. Okay? If this was your son, you wouldn't ask that question. There's a highly likelihood you wouldn't ask that question. Okay? That's your son has a grandchild for you, and then the wife is saying, my father's last name must be on it. Unless that was already your culture before. Social construct, part of the culture, it's just something is off with that. And then in addition to that, she's threatening to take the name off if he doesn't come to visit. The problem is much deeper than that. The guy is already a deadbeat. Taking the name off, you could have just taken the name off because I don't think he cares. Let's find out if he cares. Let's see.
My picking was get another passport. Anywho, as I reach there, time to put in name. I say, as long as now only me carry all this problem, emotionally, financially, otherwise.
So ladies, if you put yourself in a position, maybe it's not your fault, but if you're in a situation, let me say, where you're carrying or you feel like you're carrying everything, resentment na bastard. You won't forgive yourself. If you don't forgive yourself, how the hell are you going to forgive him? Nothing good is going to come out of it. Nothing good will come out of it. You know? Because as long as I did all that, it's like, yeah, it's like no wonder.
I'm going to put my name with his surname. So I put a compound name, Jegede Fawole. So I don't tell him, say, I will come out Fawole. If you don't come, accept your picking. Now you can come that time, come carry my picking. I think my son was like about 5. No, even the first carry him, take picture, post for internet.
So that was when the guy now came and carried the baby and took picture.
Bloggers can leave me. Say, okay, don't.
She's still concerned about the bloggers. How much you?
Hungry, so now I'm picking.
Which is the most painful thing when you know you are straight.
Since that day, he has never come again to the house. He has never called. My son turned 1. Or should I say his son turned 1? No call, no text message to say happy birthday. Now I'm not even asking him to call me. Now, you know, we're not in the same parts again. But your gift in my hand. At least now you go show extra efforts here. They call this winch. You know, go better for him.
And I know second one time when you tell me, say you.
He doesn't want that child. He just doesn't want that child, you know. Now, the real issue, I mean, is in the past now, is that he doesn't want the child. He's never wanted that child. Yeah, I don't think he's ever wanted that child ever before. Yeah. Let's keep going.
They call and say, come see this boy. The pikin won't see you.
I don't even drop message for a family member say the pikin, because I dreaded this moment for my child to wake up one day and say.
Because if you have to help him in the beginning, you have to keep helping him. Can a woman sustain that? Can a typical woman sustain that? If you have to help him in the beginning, you have to keep helping him. Okay? You have to keep helping him. But you and I know that this is not a woman is not set up that way, and we're going to talk about that too in a second. Let's keep going here.
Where's my daddy? And we got to that stage. I was shaking. I sent a message to his older brother. I said, your nephew is asking for his father. Can you help me tell his father to come and check up on him? The response I got after 2 days was not intense. Carry on, take picture, post for internet. Bloggers can leave me. Say, okay, don't grace.
She's still concerned about the bloggers. Her priorities were effed up in the first place. The priorities were all over the place, basically. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the reality. There are forces against you all the time. Ladies, one of the forces against you is that if you have to be the one taking care of a man, solely, there's nothing wrong with helping your man, but if you have to do that, you're not set up that way in this social construct. Okay? So what do you bring to the table? So much more. So much more. Okay? I'm not sure if I needed to tell you that, but so much more. But as in who brings the seed to the table, who leads the situation, overall you want it to be the man, because then you'll be much more in your essence, and then you can help, you know, multiply whatever is bringing to the table. But anything outside of that, you can try small, a little bit here and there. Life happens, you have to help, but on a consistent basis you have to keep helping him. Okay, you will have to essentially keep helping him. It's not sustainable.
I'm picking. I'll tell you about that. I'll never tell you that one. I'll tell you personally. 2 days later, I got a message say, oh, can you just tell Xavier about his father? You know, just keep up the good work. You know, we're here to support you. That message threw me off. I'm like, okay. So you spoke to him? He was like, yeah, I did. So clearly he doesn't want to come. Okay. Have in mind, and I told you before, and I told everybody, Bimbo Akintola, everybody that's been in my life, through him, my house is open for him.
I know that part.
You know that part. Me, I be G. I understand. My house is open.
Anybody still know what ABG means? What is ABG? Ladies, what does that mean when you say ABG? Let's continue.
For him.
Does that mean I can take care of myself? Is that what that means? Because sometimes the things you tell yourself, you go attract to. Facts. The kind of things you tell yourself, you attract it. You think you can take care of yourself? Yeah, sure. Then you should just be ready for that. Okay? Just be ready for it. Okay? Is that what that means? I'm not sure. I'm just saying. If that's what that means, I'll be G. I can take care of myself. I don't need no man. Like, hey, say less. Say less. I want to they probably mark that up for you, and ABG is like, I'm a bro. You're a bro. Hey.
The gate is open for him. If he comes to the house, everybody knows that this man has his property in this house. No human being whatsoever should stop him from coming in. But he clearly doesn't want to, so that's where we are right now. And my father went for Father's Day to represent my son's father the other day. It was quite painful, but he doesn't want to be involved. I'll tell you about that. I've never taken raise my son by myself. And all those people go to say, don't worry, when you reach 18, I'm not born, my picking will be foolish picking. I'm never going to tell him, don't talk to this person, talk to this person. I'm never going to do that. He's 3 years old, he's very smart. I know I'm not bomb. I know I'm not bomb bastard. If you're going to sit in your house and think when he's 18, after I don't go to school, he will come find you, I'm not going to tell my picking anything. But I know I'm not bomb.
Okay, and Mama is looking at me now.
Raise my son by myself. And all those people go to say, don't worry, when you reach 18.
All right, so that's Yvonne and that's the dude, I guess. Let me just tell you something. I think that's the lesson right there, right? Number one, well, two lessons, okay? No, a child is not going to come look for you if they don't know you. If they don't know you, the biological, let me tell you something, the biological connection, the blood is thicker than water bullshit is literally bullshit, okay? If that child doesn't know you, they don't know you, okay? Just letting you know, okay? What that child knows is what that child knows. There's a case here some few years back. I don't know if anyone of you remember that case where this lady, she stole the baby literally from the hospital. She raised the baby. She was caught like 21, 22 years later, something like that, significant years later. And then she ended up being sentenced to jail. Guess who went every time to go see that woman in jail? The child that was stolen, because that's all she knew. And she didn't want anything. She didn't believe what the hell was going on. And she didn't want anything to have to do with our actual biological family. Okay, after all, aren't we all supposed to be the same blood? Anyway, let's keep that alone right there. Speaking of women taking care of each other, I might respond to Auntie B's videos sometimes, but this one is not really a response. But I saw a comment in one of her videos that she released a few days ago, and I think we should react to that. But before we do that, let me pay some bills really quickly.